Welcome to Pecan Corner. I'm Tina, and today we've got about 15 different projects going at once. But I'm going to make sweet potato pie. This particular recipe is really good. This is the third one that I've made for Paul since Thanksgiving, which was the first one I had ever made. We've got a Christmas party to go to tonight, our church Christmas party, and we're to take a dessert and a meat dish. So I'm cheating. I'm going to use store-bought pie shells because it's 12:15 and I've got to get these baked and cooling, and then I'm going to make turkey spaghetti. Going to kind of hustle here. I've got. All right. This, like I said, I have baked my sweet potatoes. I like them better baked. I love the way that sugar caramelizes, and I will eat just cold sweet potato, cold baked sweet potato. Even the skin of it's good. But I baked these when I was baking some potatoes and some other things. I just stuck them in the oven and got them baked and set them in the refrigerator until I was ready for them. All right, I'm making 2 pies, so I'm doubling this recipe. So what I'm going to call out is, and I had a request from a viewer that asked if I would start putting the recipe down in the comments, and I think that's brilliant. And I'll be glad to do that. So I'll put the recipe for 1 pie down in the comments after we get this uploaded. I'm going to save that because that's good. That's got so much butter on it. That's good for greasing my bread pans when I make my bread. I've got frozen loaf of bread sitting up there, thawing out to take tonight. All right. So this calls for 1/3 cup of butter. I'm going to use 2/3 of a cup. Give me a chance to wash my little butter dish. Alright, and 1/2 cup of sugar. That's it. For 1 pie, there's only 1/2 cup of sugar in that whole pie. So it's very low sugar. And you could use a 1/4 cup of honey would be just fine. And you could probably even cut it back just a little bit more. But this is the lowest sugar sweet potato pie recipe I've seen. And we love it. It is so tasty. It doesn't taste like it's missing anything. But even it's got less sugar in it than a lot of those sweet potato casseroles do. You know. So you can use whatever your I've got some piece of sugar, but you can use whatever your sweetener choice is in it. Someday I'm going to have bees and be able to have my own honey. Lots of people want to have their chickens. Well, our friends have chickens, and we get our eggs from them. But what I really want to have is bees. They fascinate me, and they're such sweet little things, and I'm not afraid of them. Gosh, I grew up, we got stung by so many of them, in the clover and the grass, and we ran around barefooted all the time, and it just hurts a little bit. Plus, the poor little things, they don't want to sting you. All right, 2 eggs, and because these are yard eggs, I'm going to open them one at a time into a bowl and save my shells to go in the compost. I just do this. The people that we buy our eggs from are real good about keeping their chickens up so that the only eggs they're ever selling us are those that were, laid in the nest boxes. But something odd can happen to anybody. There could have been one that got, got hidden under some straw, but anyway, so that's why we go. It's real easy to just open it into a bowl and and put it in from there. I don't set the peels, egg peelings. I don't set the shells back in my cartons because I'll save my cartons and I take them back and get more eggs in them. All right, oh gosh, Paul's gonna be yelling mise en place at me again. I forgot to bring out my evaporated milk. I'll have to go into the pantry and get that when I get this mixed up. I can't use my mixer on this today because I made candy in it, kind of the coconut kind, and I didn't get it all made into balls since I did the one batch makes 90 candies. Well, it's 180 candies out of a double batch, and I didn't get it finished, and so I just covered the bowl and stuck it in the refrigerator, and so of course now it's in the refrigerator when I might want to use it to stir this up with. This isn't hard to do. I could probably even use my whisk for this. I'm probably using the wrong tool with this little paddle, but it seems to be doing pretty good. All right, let me get my milk. Got my hair covered today since I'm cooking for other people, because they wouldn't want to find hair in their all right, and we're going to do 2 cups of sweet potato, so that's 4 cups of sweet potato. And I'm just going to eye this, is what I'm going to do. Here's my, get this, I'll save these peelings too for my compost. I'm just going to eye this up. Here. It just comes right off, but I don't. That's right against the peeling is a little bit discolored sometimes, and I don't really want that in my pie. That discolored part. Nothing wrong with it. It would be fine to eat if we were gonna, if I were eating these, I would just eat that right up. But it just doesn't look as nice in a pie. I'm not real big on appearance, but you want your things to be a little bit appetizing anyway. We're real excited about going to this church party tonight because last Christmas Paul was too sick to go to anything. He didn't feel like any Christmas at all, and so couldn't get out of bed by himself, and so we are very, very blessed this year. We're very grateful. I'm going to mash this up is what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to get out, I have an electric mixer, and that's what I'm going to use on this. I'm fixing to put y'all on hold for a minute after I get this all, and go get my electric mixer. And we'll just get that together real quick like. All right, now I'm back. Now, I didn't figure y'all needed to hear the listen to the mixer going, so I went ahead and got it mixed up, and I added I added a cup and a quarter of evaporated milk. For one pie, you'd use 3/4 of a cup of evaporated milk, but it's still, even for 2 pies, it's less than 1 can, so you only need to open the 1 can. All right, now I'm going to add my spices. I need a spoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon if you're making 1 pie, and I always like to be a little generous with my cinnamon. Doesn't hurt to have it heated. Half a teaspoon of salt. It's a 1/4 teaspoon if you're only doing 1 pie. Just a little bit. A little bit of salt in almost everything will just bring everything together, bring all the flavors together. I think you've heard me talk about nutmeg before. I don't buy them in this container anymore. Now I buy the cheap ones that are in a little cellophane package with the Mexican spices. There's usually a little display in most grocery stores around here, and they're a lot cheaper. But this is a handy little tube to keep them in. Once we started using fresh grated nutmeg, the difference is just, it's like the difference between a homegrown tomato and store-bought one. I mean, it is just totally, totally different. So we're big on nutmeg. Okay, so I need a teaspoon of this, and since I grate it, I've gotten pretty good at being able to just estimate. But plus, with the fresh grated, you really can get by with a little less than you might use. So it's pretty economical, even if you pay a little bit more for the nutmegs themselves. You're using it a lot more wisely, and it's got such a lovely flavor. Cap all that flavor over there. That little grater. You can use your regular box grater. You know, it's got a really fine side on it. You can use that for this. You don't have to have a special utensil for it. I just happen to have that, so I use it. All right, that's all it is cinnamon and nutmeg. No other spices called for in this. This is a very fresh tasting pie, and I will make whipped cream, homemade whipped cream, to serve it with. I'm not going to be able to show you what the cut pie looks like, and I'm frankly probably not going to be able to show you what the finished pie looks like, because when I finish this, I'm going to start making chicken spaghetti, and I think I will film it too. So I'm not going to be able to show you what these look like when they come out of the oven. You're just going to have to, well, maybe I can show you at the end of the chicken spaghetti one. So, all right, there we go. I've got my, I didn't put my vanilla in. Oh dear, I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1 teaspoon if you're making one pie. Vanilla extract. And Big Lots always has good buys on real vanilla. This was only $3, and this is pure vanilla extract, and it's very strong and flavorful. It's very, very good. If you sign up with Big Lots, they have, if there is one near you, I don't know where they are all over the country, but if you sign up with them, every so often they have a 20% off the whole store sale. And they'll start it the night before for friends and family. They'll start it on a Saturday afternoon, and then it's all day on Sunday for anybody. And you know, just imagine. So that's when I buy all my staples. I buy, you know, toilet paper and paper towels and vanilla and anything like that that they already have a good price on to start with, and then another 20% off of it. All right, there we go. Now, get my pies ready. I always set my pies in a baking pan so that they won't spill over into my oven and make a mess of it. Although with self-cleaning ovens, it's a lot less trouble than it once was. It's still an ordeal to have to clean up after a spilt pie or any kind of a bacon spill. Really, house smells bad, and so this putting a tray under it just takes care of the problem. All right, there we go. Perfect. 2 pies. Got spills. You know, see, I've already got spills and I haven't put it in the oven yet. Sometimes it's operator error, you know. All right, I'm going to start this off at 425 degrees for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to turn the oven down to 350 and for 35 to 40 minutes. So since there's 2 pies in here, it'll probably take it the full 40 minutes. There we go. All right, I'm going to set my timer. It's still preheating. I'll set my timer for 17 minutes because it's going to take it about another 2 minutes to finish preheating. So that, and now my timer will go off and warn me when it's time to lower that heat. All right, I'll be back and show you how they look when they come out. Right, there you go. Let's see if I can get it where I can show you without, there's a shadow on it. That's not a that's not darkening in the pie. But see, they came out great, and I used a I used a toothpick to test them in the center. You want your toothpick to come out clean. You can use a knife, but a knife leaves a big old hole, so I've been using a toothpick. Now I'm just going to let these cool. Paul said I could cut a piece of his to show you the cut piece, but I hate to cut it while it's hot, and I need to get started on my my chicken spaghetti that I'm fixing to make here. So there's the sweet potato pies. We'll serve those with homemade whipped cream, and they are delicious. In fact, there's so little sugar in this, you could probably have a piece for lunch or supper without feeling guilty about it. You could call it vegetables. All right.